you talk about something having happened 2 or 3 months before Mr. Gigaba took up the position of Minister of DPE. Can you remember what happened?
He told me that he will move to the Department of DPE.
Did he tell you where he had received this, or from whom he had received this news, that he was going to move to being the Minister of the DPE?
Then he said he heard it from AJ.
AJ who?
AJ Gupta.
So you say when he became the Minister of the DPE, he went there to meet his advisors more often. Is that what you said?
Yes.
So did he tell you who these unofficial advisors were?
Yes, he told me.
What did he say?
It was the Guptas, AJ and his brothers.
When did you first meet Mr. Gigaba's advisors?
You mean the Guptas?
Yes.
When our first son was born.
And in what year was that?
It was in 2011.
2011.
Yes.
And how did that meeting come about? You deal with this at paragraph 17.1.
Because AJ wanted to meet our son.
Did they give your son any gift of any sort?
AJ gave him a necklace, which Malosi took it. Then he kept it. So he never ever gave it to my son.
Oh, okay.
What was the necklace made of?
It was a gold necklace.
In 2013, did you attend the Gupta wedding?
Yes, I did.
Did you go to the Waterkloof Air Force Base?
Yes, I did.
Did you go there before or after the wedding?
I only went before the wedding.
So the two of you and your sons went to Waterkloof, is that right?
Yes.
And the purpose of going there was to
welcome
the guests,
yes.
the Guptas.
So when we left the airport, we went home. And then I saw a lot of blue lights escorting the members of the Guptas when they were leaving at the airport.
When you went to the Gupta residence, AJ would meet with you and he would hold discussions with Mr. Gigaba, and then they would go off to the meeting room.
It was not discussion, it was like briefs.
Right.
He was briefing him, not like discussion.
And what was AJ Gupta briefing Mr. Gigaba about? What was the sorts of things that he briefed him about?
So sometimes you will brief him about the SAA, or you will brief him about Transnet.
What was discussed or what was briefed in relation to Transnet?
Most of the time in Transnet, it will be the people that AJ feels like they need to be appointed or need to leave or need to, maybe they're restructuring.
During these briefing sessions, did you ever hear any mention made of Eskom?
Yes.
And what was said about Eskom?
There was a time Mr. Brian Dames was the CEO of Eskom. And what I remember, Malusi liked Brian Dames. And there was a certain time then the Guptas didn't like him, especially AJ. Let me not say Guptas because it was most of the time was AJ. And AJ didn't like him.
Was there a time when Mr. Gigaba would tell you, well, Mr. So-and-so is going to move here, and then that would happen? That's what this section deals with.
Yes.
Were there occasions where he said X is going to happen and then it did happen?
Yes.
Can you remember those instances? Who was he talking about?
I remember when you say Brian Dames will leave at Eskom, then Brian Molefe will go to Eskom. So I knew that before it happened, and it happened.
Still with other gifts, there's a heading that says the white 3 Series BMW motor vehicle, the BMW. Can you tell us about that?
They gave him that car as a gift.
Sorry?
They gave him that car as a gift.
Who's they?
Gupta's AJ.
Who paid for your honeymoon?
AJ did.
You say that about a week after the Gupta wedding, held at Sun City during 2013, Mr. Gigaba now visited the Gupta residence. And then you talk about what happened on your return home. Can you explain that, please? What you deal with at 56. On our return home, the CPOs took the bag from the boot of his official vehicle. Is that correct?
Yes.
And where had those bags come from?
It was the same bags that he takes out, in and out when he's there at the section.
When he's at the Gupta residence?
Yes.
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 Okay.
And what did Mr. Gigaba then do with those bags?
He would put them at his study.
And did you then go into the study?
Sometimes.
But on this particular day, did you enter the study?
Yes.
And what did you see?
I saw him taking money.
Packing money into what?
Into the safe.
And what did he tell you as to where he got the money from?
He said he got it from AJ.
And did he tell you what it was for?
It's me who asked him what it was for.
Yes. And what was his response?
He said it was for the elections, because at the time he was the head of elections.
It was for the ANC elections.
Yes.